Hey all, Ron here from Military Images Magazine with a new episode of Life on the Civil War Research Trail. Take a look at this cool pair of shades worn by this Union captain. I'm jealous. I'd love to have a pair, and anytime I was out and about town, especially in the summer, I'd be sporting them. Got to tell you, if you're a student of Civil War material culture, you know that images of soldiers wearing glasses, particularly sunglasses, are quite uncommon. Also uncommon is the story behind the man who's wearing them. His name is Thomas Bartlett Griffith. He was a furnace manufacturer in Carver, Massachusetts. He might have been wearing these stylish supplemental lenses for any variety of reasons. Sunglasses, bifocals, or simply for decoration. I did find a post-war image of him wearing glasses, so I suspect that this was prescription eyewear. Anyway, he's got an interesting story to tell. At 17, he left his family in Carver, Massachusetts, followed the sea, shipping on a whaling vessel from New Bedford around Cape Horn. Apparently, enjoyed the experience enough to make several more trips around the world as part of the U.S. merchant fleet. At some point, he settled in Boston, made his home there, and with a couple of pals, two partners, started a company called the Murdoch Parlor Great Company, and it began to prosper. The war interrupted his service in September 1862. He and a bunch of folks in his local hometown militia mustered into federal service as Company K of the 3rd Massachusetts Infantry. They were in the service for a 9-month enlistment, served along the North Carolina coast, and did not have a particularly eventful time. Although, when I say that, it's always a bit misleading because they endured the perils of any regiment, any body of men during the Civil War. They left behind their homes and families, took a ship down the coast into hostile territory, and kept the coastal portion of North Carolina safely in Union hands during that time. He probably had those glasses, the glasses that we see him wearing, with him during that 9-month military experience for federal service. He survived all that and went back home to Boston and resumed the business. The foundry grew into a large and lucrative business. Like many veterans, he embraced the Republican Party. He also became a believer in communicating with spirits of the dead, converting to spiritualism as his way of bonding with the unknown. I don't know how successful that was for him or how long he remained involved in spiritualism, but it was certainly part of a movement that was sweeping the country for a time during the post-war years. Griffith's business boomed and he began to invest in different ventures. One of them was an interesting enterprise, bananas in Jamaica. It's a company called the Boston Fruit Company. He became a heavy investor in this company, and the Boston Fruit Company became a very dominant player in the global banana trade. And it lives on today as a brand Chiquita Brands International. He lived a relatively long life, dying in 1897 at age 63. At that point, his considerable fortune passed to his wife and daughter. The young woman, her name is Hannah, eventually married a man named Benjamin Shaw, and they lived comfortably, living the life of a philanthropist until she passed away in 1933. That money was invested in a number of causes, including the Hannah B.G. Shaw Home, which was a senior living community established in Middleborough, Massachusetts. That was in 1941. It's still thriving today. So interesting to know that a Civil War veteran, the money that he earned in his lucrative foundry was passed along to his daughter and to a senior living home that is still in existence today. So thanks for listening. Until the next episode, take care.